Again, guys.
Yes, just a moment.
Sure. Day. So what I actually do and what I highly recommend, if this worked for you, would be to even before you begin your, begin your activities for the day, before you check your phone, very importantly, is to start your day with this. Close your eyes, think of three things that you're really grateful for, and really let yourself be overcome with that emotion of joy, of happiness, of a sense of accomplishment, and use that energy throughout the day. And you'll notice a difference in how you react and how you behave, how you engage with others, and the effect that it has on your own self-confidence. It might be tricky in the beginning to get your mind to, clear out all the noise, but do try it, and I'm sure that you'll find it really, really useful. So the next point that I wanted to drive home is about the importance of support. Now, what I mean by support here is we've been talking a lot about energy and negative energy, positive energy, but just as negative energy spreads, positive energy spreads as well. And so it's really, really important for you to surround yourself with people who are positive, who are role models, people you can look up to, especially. And also, if you have a particular career in mind, if you think that you want to be, an author, or if you're really committed to entering the startup space, and you're inspired by that, then find out who is doing something that you love and that you want to do. It's as simple as that. Find out that person, learn about them, learn about their journey, learn about how they've overcome obstacles. And if you can, try and get in touch with them, try and set some time to speak to them and learn from them, right? This is the best way, because there's so much that we learn as individuals, but there's also through your own experience, but there's also so much that you can learn from the mistakes of others, and through their guidance. So I would really, really encourage to get the support that you required, whether that's through surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded, who have a similar goal as you do. If it's about one-on-one guidance you need, get yourself a mentor or a life coach. These are really, really great ways to help explore yourself further and understand, what you need to do in order to get to where you want to go. Finally, I think what I would say is that we focus a lot on our mistakes, right? We focus on how we failed, and then we think, okay, what could I have done better? How could I have approached this problem better? And of course, that's very, very useful. But so many times we actually do achieve something really, really great, and we instead of actually taking a moment to really celebrate this moment, we don't, we just let it go by, right? We spend so much time on our failures, but we spend such little time on our successes. So I would encourage you to take that time out, and give the same importance to your successes. That's not to say that you should become overconfident and just keep celebrating. Of course, everyone has to learn, everyone has to grow. But really think about, how did you achieve that moment? How did you become successful? What were the actions that led you to achieve that particular goal? And try and see how you can replicate that in the future, right? And also always remember that your biggest and toughest critic is always going to be you. Even when I go back to the pageant example, it wasn't that people around me were doubting me. I had so much support in that sense, but that support will not go anywhere if I myself don't believe in myself, right? If I think I can't do it, if I continually wake up to that feeling, then I will not be able to do it. So always remember that, it's and this is a quote that I really, really love. Your most important sale in life is to sell yourself to yourself. And this is something that is an ongoing process, right? You have to instill that confidence in you, and you have to ensure that no matter what, you remember that you are capable of achieving what it is you've set out to achieve. And more importantly, don't let the failure stop you, right? So I just wanted to share this quick example, that the founders, and I'm sure you might be aware because you're all part of the startup learning system, but the founders of Airbnb had to pitch their idea to 100 investors before they found the right fit, right? Now, just imagine that. If they had developed that mindset of, no, first meeting, I need to go in, I need to make the sale, I need to sell my company and then get an investor, and they just failed, they would have, and they walked away from that, they would have not had Airbnb, right? But they kept going. They learned from that opportunity, and that helped them grow. It helped them probably refine their pitch, the next set of 10, 15 investors. And today they are where they are. Everyone knows about them. So don't discount the importance of learning, right? And every opportunity you take, think of it as an opportunity to achieve, yes, but also as an opportunity to learn. And you always learn more when you fail. Okay, that's what you don't hear about it, of course. You don't hear about the failures of really successful people that you look up to, perhaps. But behind every successful meeting or accomplishment, there's 100 different examples of failure that happen behind closed doors. And again, the movie Dhoni is the perfect example of that. You know how much it took for him to reach where he did. That's the story of so many people who we all look up to and we see as people that we should emulate. So don't forget about that, and don't be afraid to really fail and learn from that. So I think that you know, that's it for me from the presentation side. I would love to hear from you. If you guys have questions, do stay connected with me, and I would love to, you know, hear about your ideas, hear your stories. These are just a few ways that we can stay in touch. And now I'll open the floor to questions and let the moderator figure out the best way to do that. But thank you so much for your time, and look forward to engaging with some of you.
Thank you for that very engaging and enlightening talk. We have collated questions from the audience and request Sonal ma'am to answer them one by one. If anyone else has questions, you may type them in the chat box. The moderator reserves the right to select questions for this session. The first question that we received, ma'am, was, to what extent has your degree in policy and economics from the London School of Economics help you in your startup and your personal life?
Okay, that's a very good question, whoever asked it. And I think it's the entire experience of studying in London at LSE, the exposure I got has helped me tremendously, and has played a pivotal role in who I am today. Now, what I mean by that is that, you know, if you take a step back, a lot of people in hindsight, you hear them say that, you know, मैंने पता नहीं क्या पढ़ा था 10 साल पहले, I don't use it at all. What was the point of that degree? And I think that's a very, I think that's the kind of a wrong attitude to take. For me, yes, I might not be using econometrics for my day-to-day work, but the entire experience of living in London, being someone who was like being in London for the first time in her life, living alone, having to overcome a lot of obstacles, and interacting with people from all over the world, companies from all over the world. It was great experience, great exposure. And had I not gone to LSE, I probably would not have gotten certain opportunities in London, like working at Deloitte as a strategy and ops consultant, working with the National Audit Office. So many things happened because of that. So I think it played a really pivotal role in who I am today. And getting that experience has definitely helped me with my position at Fitter. Although it's a completely different business, of course. The exposure I got and the analytical skills I developed at LSE, as well as in my jobs after that through consulting at Deloitte, I think I use those skills on a daily basis, whether it's, you know, pitching to investors, presenting, organizing data in a way that makes sense and you can communicate to an external as well as internal audience. I think these are things that I probably use on a daily basis, like I said. So very, very relevant. And I wouldn't have changed a thing about my experience and how it led me here.
The second question is, in this age of instant gratification and dwindling attention spans, what workable tips would you suggest to cope with the hurly-burly of life and maintain the winning mindset?
Okay, another great question. So I think I've mentioned a few in terms of starting your day in a particular way so that you generate a sense of calm. I think this is something that is really, really important to try and work on cultivating that mindset on a daily basis. So I wouldn't say that use these techniques just before an important meeting or a pitch or an interview, but try and do this on a daily basis so that you wake up with that winning mindset, right? Something that is really useful that I realized that I'd want to share with this audience is that when I was studying for my last set of exams at LSE, I was so happy. I was like, thank God, these are the last exams I'll ever have to write. After this, it's just going to be like so much fun. I will never have to prepare, I'll never have to sit for an exam, and life will be great. And someone said to me very irritatingly that, Sonal, every day of life is an exam. And I just thought, oh my God, why is he saying this to me? I was so excited to get rid of exam. And he's saying every day of life is an exam. This was someone very senior to me who was working. And now when I think back to that moment, it was so true because every day we are confronted with so many different obstacles, right? Whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in school, even if you're at home and you're like taking care of children, whatever the case might be. There's so many things that are thrown at you. How do you ensure that you are prepared to handle them? Now in school, you have a syllabus. You have amazing teachers, you have professors who help you, who guide you, who say, study these pages and study those pages. Everything is neatly laid out, which is great. And you don't appreciate it when you're a student, but trust me, it's a great, great feeling. And then when you graduate, when you start working, you realize that every day your boss or your colleagues, they're all throwing things at you and there's no syllabus, right? There's no one telling you what you need to know in order to pass or achieve a certain outcome. So you need to be mentally prepared on a daily basis to handle those things. So I would say meditation is a great way to start the day. So the gratitude exercise I took you guys through, that's a form of meditation, for example. I would say having a mentor or a life coach is a great opportunity to get someone to help you guide you through your journey and figure out the goals that you want to achieve. And also, I think continually learning, keeping your eyes open, not being afraid to try out different things, especially in this age, so that you get the experience you need, which will help you define your path. I think these are just some of the things that are so important to focus on and to help you navigate your journey.
The next question is, how do you promote the the Bharatiya ways of staying fit through yoga through your startup? Like,
Yes. So I think that there are certain fundamentals within Fitter that we focus on. If the objective of the individual is, to lose weight or gain strength, there's a certain scientific philosophy that we follow, which focuses on the importance of quantified nutrition as well as some aspects of strength training. But the main purpose here is, how do you lead healthy and fit lives, right? How do you lead healthy and fit lives, and how do you come up with a plan that is sustainable for you? So if yoga is something that you feel is really important to you, that is something that our coaches, for example, would inculcate in your daily routine. I'm someone who does yoga as well, so I can understand the value and importance. We have coaches who are certified in the art and science of yoga. So if someone wants specific assistance around that, that's available. But we ultimately believe that whatever is going to help the end user on their fitness journey and make it something that's actually sustainable and that they enjoy doing, that's the key to long-term fitness.
the next question is, what activities we should do that help us concentrate?
That's a good one. That's a good one. So again, I think I've mentioned it before, and I will say it again. I think meditation is probably one of the best ways to try and focus your energies and clear out the noise in your head and to force yourself to focus on one thing. Another useful tool that I think might help if you feel that you're very distracted or there's a lot of thoughts going on is writing. So actually writing out your thoughts helps in terms of distilling some of that energy, and of course physical activity. I think there's an amazing difference in your concentration levels, in your energy levels once you've done a quick workout. That doesn't mean that you have to spend hours and hours working out. It could just be 30 minutes. This really helps me personally. Once you get that energy out and you actually feel the endorphins rising in your body, it helps with focusing on a particular task, or at least starting your day with a certain level of energy. So I think those three things would be a great way to focus on improving concentration powers.
Okay, so someone is genuinely curious to know, is there any particular reason to omit E from Fitter, your fitness startup?
I think it was just a branding decision that we made. So it just makes it a little bit unique. So there's no very serious, a hardcore reason why we omitted it. It was just because we liked the way it sounded, we liked the way it looked, and it made us have a bit of a differentiation. So that's why.
So these are all the questions we received, ma'am.
Okay, great.
With that, we come to the end of the session. You want to speak something, you can say.
Oh no, I was just going to say thank you. Oh, I think someone is.
Just 1 second. Yes, thank you, Sonal, for accepting. I just messaged her on LinkedIn and she said yes, that she'll do it. And thank you so much. I hope everybody will find the tips that you've given useful. I certainly found them really useful. And just for the participants, there's a feedback form which has been posted in the chat box. Please fill it in. This will not be shared later on the group, so you fill it before you leave the session. Right. Okay. Yes, Sonal.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Miriam and Sumedha for moderating. It was a real pleasure to be here. And yeah, I hope some of it was useful. And thanks again for giving up some of your Saturday. And I hope you all have a great weekend, and good luck to all of you with whatever career path you choose. So thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye, Sonal. Thanks.
Bye. Bye.
We are indeed extremely grateful to Sonal ma'am for agreeing to speak at this webinar today. Thank you all for joining. We would like to thank each and every student who as volunteer or core committee member has contributed to the conduct of this event. Have a great evening. I declare the session closed.
Okay, yes, people can fill the form and then leave the session.